Today we've got something really exciting lined up for you. I'm sitting here with my good mate Mark, and besides being a fanatical bike rider and passionate about biking, anything to do with biking, he's also the official brand ambassador and importer of the Italian SBK sunglass range. And what he does as a part-time passion is organize bike tours through South Africa. And as Route 21, we will be joining him on the upcoming BTK 1610 tour. So without procrastinating further, let me introduce you to the guy. Mark, thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah, lucky to have you here, and lovely to talk bikes and about what my passion is, man.
So before we get going into this BTK tour and all about that, how did you get into biking?
Sure. Now you got me thinking way back, Because I've got to say that it was really my brother that got me into biking in those days. I was quite young when he got involved with 50cc bikes, as I'm sure you remember as well.
All of us went there.
So I learned how to ride on a 50 from him, and then often when he was away, I would steal the bike and go ride it without anybody knowing, because I wasn't old enough for it. But the bug bit straight away, and I knew I was doomed for life.
Yeah.
But it's actually turned right around, and it's become such a passion thing for me. It's made my life 100 times better. My family and my wife are big into the biking side as well, so it's a very big family affair of biking. From there, I obviously got a bit older and went into motocross and raced motocross for a while. And then my passion started with the road bikes and road racing. And in those days, money was tight, so I never really got the opportunity to get into track racing from an early age. But I bided my time and eventually got back into racing at the age of, I think, 35, around there.
Okay.
And started off with the classic superbike racing, which was great fun. I think it was probably the best racing that I've ever been involved in.
And I've seen you've got quite a few trophies. You've had quite a bit of success there too, eh?
Yeah, it was very hard in the beginning. I went with the attitude that I knew how to ride bikes on the road, so I'm easily going to go and smoke everyone on the track. And I got a rude awakening about how hard it is to actually race on a track.
And how competitive the South African
Hugely.
riders are, eh?
From young ages right up to older guys. There's some very quick guys out there, but it really was an awesome time of my life. I eventually won the Classic Superbike South African Championship in 2005, which was my goal, so I was glad about that. From there, I basically went on to some ZX10 racing and other superbike racing, and it was really lacquer. But if I have to say, the Classic Superbike was just a great bunch of guys and just awesome 7 years of my life. And my dad was my pit boss, and we went around the country racing and having good fun. From the racing, we got onto the road bikes again, and my wife and I started touring around a bit and doing some road stuff. But our whole family is just SBK racing mad, and obviously MotoGP mad, and especially now with our great young binders coming through now, and many others that have been around. It just makes it so much better. So we're loving the biking, and it's a passion for us, and it's opened our world in South Africa of what we do with biking.
You made your passion, you brought it a little bit into your career. How did you become the official importer for the SBK sunglasses?
Sure. So it's quite a long story, actually. It goes back about 12 years. My brother-in-law came back from an overseas trip, and he's in optics. He's always been in optics business. So he came back with a pair of SBK sunglasses for me for my one birthday. So obviously when I opened the gift and I saw it was sunglasses, that's a nice gift anyway. But when I saw it was the SBK, which in those days was still the old logo, it's not the same logo that it is now, I was over the moon. I mean, I hugged him. I said, geez, this is awesome because this is my passion. So I said to him, but why don't we bring these in? So he sort of looked at me and said, but aren't they here in South Africa? He said, I thought I was just getting a better price overseas. That's why I bought them. I said, no, they're not here, but let's have a look at getting them in. Long story short, we got hold of the guys, and they sort of appointed us as agents for it. And he was involved with me for a couple of years, and then decided to pull out for business reasons, that he was following another product. And I took it on and started selling it mainly just at the racetracks while I was racing, to cover the costs of the tires and the race day, which can get expensive. And we quickly saw that people loved the brand, obviously because they knew it, the guys racing. And just the comfort and the styles, and the people just love it. The polarized lenses are just awesome. And we said, the guys are loving it, let's push it a bit harder. And we started taking on some bigger shows and getting it out there, and the rest is history. We've done very big numbers. It's become a sunglass to wear. People buy from all over the country. We travel South Africa flat with big shows, and it's really, really become a good business to have.
You have become synonymous with the brand in South Africa.
Yeah, you know, when something's a passion, then you drive it a whole lot more.
That's why I call you the brand ambassador. So, you know, you're Mr. SPK. Yeah. So, but at the same time, thank you for allowing Route 21 to be your official e-commerce partner to promote them. So, you know, I think we'll blend in your contact details should they want to get hold of you, or if guys are further away and want to purchase them via the internet. But thank you for that opportunity.
Yeah, look, we're very glad to have Route 21. You guys on board with us. We believe it's going to be the right way. We've tried some other e-commerce type business, and it just didn't really work. So we're excited that you've taken it on, and we'll back you as best we can. And yeah, I think it's going to do great things for the sale online. Really.
No, they're fantastic, and the synergy, and when you have it biking in your blood, it's just it's what it is. Eh?
You have to have a pair.
It's a lifestyle. The real reason we're sitting here is your passion and your hobby is organizing bike tours through South Africa to show people a little bit about the country and enjoy the lifestyle that you. So tell us about this upcoming BTK 1610 tour. Where does it come from?
So it actually goes back 15 years that it really started as just really a ride. So I'm going to put this cap on now just so that you can see that what it actually is. Then I'll explain what it's all about on the cap. So I think it was the 2006 Rhino Rally that Simon Ferry moved from, I think, Chrissimere or somewhere where it was, I forget where it was, into Harrismith. And my dad had just got his Kawasaki Z1R, and we were looking to do a ride. So myself, my dad and my cousin Theo, my mom and Theo's wife decided to go to the Rhino Rally. So my mom and Theo's wife were in the car, and myself, my wife Bev, and my dad and Theo decided to ride there. So instead of going the route on the N3 into Harrismith, we decided to go through Frankfurt and into sort of Bethlehem, and then into Clarence, and then into Harrismith, because none of us had ever ridden that way before, even driven that way. And I always wanted to do Golden Gate. So we jumped on the bikes on a Friday morning, and literally we went, and we got there Friday afternoon. We had a great weekend, as the rallies are. And it was so lekker that when I got back, I said to my wife, next year I'm going to invite a few more guys and take them, and we'll see how it goes. So the following year, where I think 6 or 7 guys join us, same thing, leave Friday, come back Sunday. And just riding through Golden Gate was the first time I'd ever been that way through Golden Gate. If you haven't been there, I mean, it's mind-blowing. You don't realize you're even in the same country. It's just knowing that you've been to Durban so many times on the N3 and not realized what's going on to the right-hand side of you is amazing. So it just sort of grew from there. I would tell people about the ride, and then the one year I decided, let's rather leave on the Thursday instead of the Friday. We ride out on a complete other route, sleep over Thursday, then come into Harrismith on the Friday. So the beginning stages, it was called, I sort of called it the Rhino Ride, based on the Rhino Rally. It stayed like that for a few years, and then eventually we started leaving on a Wednesday and only getting to the rally on the Saturday and spending one night there. The guys started getting a bit tired of the rally. It was getting monotonous, same rally every year. I left the rally out, and we still left on a Wednesday, but came back Sunday, but we never went to the rally. I just organized a trip around. Then, a long story short, a whole lot of years in between went by. And my dad, the passion that he had on the bike, he was getting older, he was getting a bit sickly. But when he was on the bike, his life was just beautiful. He just loved it. So we started touring around, and eventually when my dad got sick and unfortunately he passed away, I changed the name from the Rhino Ride to the BTK 1610 Ride. So the BTK stands for Billy the Kid, which was my dad's nickname, Billy. Okay. He started young on biking as well, but with children in those days when we were all born and the sports we all played, he couldn't afford to be in the biking. I didn't even realize how passionate he was for the biking until I started racing, and he was in with my pit crew and all that. And we got him a bike, and it changed his life. My mom said that he he went backwards 15 years. So it was really, really awesome. Yeah. So I changed it to BTK, Billy the Kid, and I've always kept the 1610, which is involved. It's also somewhere here on the side of it. Yeah.
Under the B, yeah.
Yeah. So the 1610 is really just the Edenvale postal code. And if you've grown up in Edenvale, you'll know what it means to be a Vale boy.
It's the brotherhood.
It's in our blood. Yeah. And most guys my age, I don't have one because my wife doesn't like tattoos. She said I could have one under my foot, which would never work for me. So most of the guys have got a 1610 tattooed somewhere and in different formats. But it's really just a Vale thing. So I've always included that. The guys that started the ride with me that joined were all mates of mine. And it's grown into now that I think this is my 15th ride of mine, but it's really chapter 14 as we call it now. It's the 14 years. And we varied from like 15 guys right up to 43 guys around the country. And we've started off with 2,000k ride, and it's built up to like a 4,000k ride now that we do through the country. It's an amazing time. I've met people that were the first time on a ride that have literally become my best friends. They become business associates. We've done business together. We ride together. We socialize. The families have become friends. It's really, really lekker. Obviously, every year some guys can't make it and then new guys come. Yeah. But I've worked it out that I've had close to 150 different people in the last 15 years come on my ride. And every one of them still talk about it. It's now like got to a stage where I organize it from start to finish. So I work out a price, you pay me. It's dinner, bed and breakfast in very lekker places. I find places that are off the beaten track, so it's not just stick on the N1 or N3. We find the lekker roads. We drive through places that South African guys go, wow, I didn't even know this place existed. I didn't know there was this place. Hotels.
You show us locals our own country, eh?
That's it. Yeah. It's exactly that. You know, a lot of people they've spent hundreds of thousands of rands traveling overseas, which is not a bad thing. I mean, I've done the Isle of Man. I've done a bike tour through the UK and Scotland and Ireland. It was fantastic. It was just awesome. But there's so much here to do with that as well. Our weather, climate, our roads are stunning. And just the camaraderie of the guys biking, it's just phenomenal. So you basically pay me, we leave. You just got to look after your own petrol and your own entertainment. The rest is all done. I'll make shirts, as you can see. This is our last year shirts. I've got shirts here piled up from the last whatever years, just of different designs. Always got the BTK or the 1610 in it somewhere. All the places that we go to are on the back. I'll make caps for us. As you can see, I'm wearing. There's mugs that we've made. Last year, I decided to do a beer mug with it, and then it's got on the back of the beer mug all the places that we've been to. I'll make trophies for like the best couple, the best bike, which I love because I get to ride a few bikes that I think are good. And then I literally judge them and choose the best bike of the trip. You get a Mr. BTK and a Mrs. BTK, and the guys love it. So we do a whole prize giving for one of the nights that we're out. And it's really, really good, lekker fun, and the guys love it.
And it's leave Saturday, come back the next Saturday?
What I've done in the past is I've always sort of worked it. It was around September, October, and then I decided to change it to October on a certain date, being the 16th of October, which is 1610.
Yeah, okay.
So we used to leave on the 16th of October and then ride, but I realized that it sometimes doesn't work out from the day. You don't want to leave Joburg on a Monday morning or a Wednesday morning at 6:30 in the traffic that we've got. It's dangerous. The guys are all flustered by the time they get 100 k's out. So I'll try to leave now on a Saturday or Sunday that's closest to the 16th.
Okay.
This year it just worked out for a bike club that I ride with that had the national that we were going to have in October, but that was cancelled. So I brought it a little bit forward this year, but it still works out lekker. This year's the first year that we're going to be actually doing 7 nights out. I've just decided to make it a whole week. So we leave on the 10th of October, it's a Saturday morning, and we get back on the 17th of October, which is a Saturday. So riding out of Joburg, the traffic's not that hectic, and then coming in as well. We average about 700 k's a day, and then we sleep over at an awesome place. The guys have a complete party, and we leave early the next morning and ride through beautiful places, and
But the whole trip is also a little bit of a surprise because we're joining you on it, and all we know is we meet you at 6:30 in the morning on Saturday at the Rossi Bar, and then we'll get riders briefing.
That's right. So, I've just found it that the guys enjoy that. It's almost like a mystery of where they're going, but they don't have to worry because in the last few years now, we make a booklet like this. This is from pictures from our last ride on the cover. There's a bit of a story about my dad here and why we do the ride. The first page has got the whole map of the whole trip.
Okay.
So if you scan on this little Google Map scanning thing here with your phone, it gives you the complete trip on your phone straight away.
Okay.
So you cannot get lost really, although some of the guys do get lost.
We have some special guests.
Yeah. Then in the middle here, we've got all the guys that were on the trip last year. So it's got their make of motorbike that they ride and then the amount of times they've been on the ride. Like I say, there's friends that come on the ride that I've known now for close to 50 years. I don't see them often, maybe sometimes only once a year on the ride. But it's set in their diary that that's what they'll do every year. This background picture is in Pringle Bay, which is near the Cape. Just stunning. You can see all the bikes in the background. They're parked there. That's one of the places we stayed there. Then every day has got, like day one, we've got some cartoon photos of the guys before that stayed. It's the exact trip of this year. We even include kilometers between towns so that the guys know for petrol where they must get. Same thing, if you scan on here, it gives you the exact trip of where we're going. So it's not an organized guided tour where you all have to ride behind me and then I'll tell you when to stop and what photo. The guys break up and you get the guys that are riding a bit faster in the front and then the medium guys and some slower guys at the back.
Yeah.
And there's no stress. Everybody knows where they're going. We've got a full backup vehicle with tools, trailer. The lady that drives the backup vehicle for me, her name is Michelle. She's a trauma nurse. So if anything happens, she's on the spot to help. She knows how to load bikes. She sorts it all out. So there's tools, there's fuel in the backup trailer, there's refreshments. We often stop in a remote place out there, have a chat, have a drink. Yes, and the guys just love it. So every day basically is that. It pages through to every day. It also tells you exactly where we're staying. When you get to the hotel, your names are there, you check in, and then literally the guys start having a good time. Then we get some sponsors that help us with prizes for the prize giving night. Mostly friends, but we've had guys like Michelin that helped us with the giveaways of tires and stuff like that. So it's really, really lekker. This year we've probably got the most sponsors. We've got a whole lot of guys on board. So the prize giving is going to be awesome. And then I just try and make up a picture and with the saying at the back just to know where I am in life and for how people... I mean, this one says, enjoy life. It has an expiration date, which we all know. Yeah. And then I made the saying up last year saying, life is power, so let's ride it. This year it's got a little bit of a different caption on. But, I could sit here and talk for hours.
But in short, it's an exciting tour showing
South Africa as well.
Africa off, and you've organized it professionally there's a backup nurse, there's backup vehicles should your bike break down. It caters for the guys who want to go helter-skelter, or it also caters for couples that can go together and have a relaxed ride and see the country. So, I think it's fantastic. And you, just to finish off, I think you mentioned you've done 1 or 2 tours to Lesotho or something like that as well already?
Yeah, I've taken guys into Lesotho for a weekend, which Lesotho is another country that people don't realize. I hope they're going to look after the roads there, because they've recently tarred basically a whole lot of roads in Lesotho now, from Sani Pass, from the top, not going down on the old side. That I hope they keep sand for the adventure guys and for guys with 4x4s. It's an awesome ride up there. But from the backside, you can literally ride on an awesome, almost autobahn from Sani all the way to Afriski. It is mind-blowing. It's really, really lekker. So I've done that. I've done Swaziland tours as well. I've got a whole lot planned, and I'm looking to get some overseas guys out here to show them what South Africa is all about, and the riding and the places. We have got mountain passes in South Africa that when you're in them riding, you wouldn't believe you're in South Africa. You would almost think you're in Switzerland or France or somewhere. And our engineers that have built some of the roads are right up there with the best. They are flipping stunning.
I think what we're going to do is we're going to blend in your contact details for guys that are interested in doing a ride with you to contact you, and then you can give them further details on what it's about.
That would be awesome. Like I say, it's a passion thing of mine. I've always wanted to have a bike tour company, but obviously with the pressures of other work and trying to pay the bills, you got limited time. And this trip just on its own takes me literally 3 months to get it sorted out. Yeah. But I've got people now in different hotel industry phoning me, asking me, giving me good rates to bring the people through their town. So there's a whole lot of towns that we need to get through to. And I'm just glad you're joining us, because you're going to get a first-hand experience of what it's all about.
Who knows, maybe this will be a full-time job for you.
I'm praying for that.
All right, awesome.
Lekker.
I'm the lucky one to be joining Mark on the BTK tour for 4,000 Ks. I will be filming it and letting you guys follow us on that trip. So if you want to see a little bit of South Africa and what the BTK tour is all about, please remember to click like and subscribe and follow us. And should you wish to get hold of Mark for SBK sunglasses, or else get on his mailing list for any of his tours that he's arranging, we will blend in those details. And I hope you enjoyed this episode, and please remember to click like and subscribe and follow us on Route 21 Garage.